Throughout her career, Linda Koch Lorimer has been a trailblazer and catalyst for change in higher education. Over the past 20 years, she has successfully led major strategic institutional initiatives as vice president at Yale University, where she has also worked to advance women into senior positions. Known for her energetic, take-charge attitude, Lorimer's vision and commitment to innovation have earned her wide respect as an influential leader in the global academic community. Born in Chicago in 1952, Linda soon moved with her parents, Elizabeth and Ferdinand Koch, to Virginia, where her brother John was born 10 years later.
My dad devoted his career to serving our nation as a naval officer. He rose to the rank of admiral and was the commanding officer of the world's largest aircraft carrier at the time. My mom was a walking example of being self-reliant, and she needed to be, since my dad was often gone for 4, 5, 6 months at a time.
In 1970, Linda graduated from Norfolk Academy and, 4 years later, from Hollins College for Women, where she was valedictorian and student government president. She went on to Yale Law School, where she pursued coursework in education and nonprofit law.
I never thought of myself as being a practicing attorney. But I grew up in the 60s when lawyers were engines of social change in the civil rights movement, and I thought I would want to make a difference.
Lorimer graduated from law school in 1977.
After Yale Law School, I had a very short stint in New York City, practicing on Wall Street, and then had a grand opportunity to come back to be part of the staff of Yale. Yale has given me much of my life, not one but 2 husbands. I had 2 children who were born here and had a remarkable set of opportunities.
Linda Lorimer held a series of administrative positions at Yale between 1978 and 1987, including an appointment as associate provost, making her the youngest person to ever hold that position in university history.
In my early years at Yale, I had the opportunity to work directly for then-President Bart Giamatti, who became very much a role model and allowed me to be, as he referred to, his utility infielder.
In 1987, after a great deal of thought and with the encouragement of Yale President Bart Giamatti, Ms. Lorimer accepted the position of president of Randolph-Macon Women's College in Lynchburg, Virginia, becoming the first woman to ever hold that post.
I'd had no ambitions to be a college president, but I'm passionate about women's education and women's colleges, and I thought it was a chance to make a difference. I was appointed when I was age 34. When I arrived, Peter was 17 months old and Kelly had just turned 5. I was quite naive about the hardships of a community marriage, and so being mom president was challenging in those years, but greatly satisfying.
Educating people is the driving force in Linda Lorimer's life. Educating women is especially important piece of that. She promotes women, she supports women, she advises women, and I think Linda has played a critical role in making sure that the women with whom she interacts know that they are fully capable of advancing to taking on very senior responsibilities.
While president of Randolph-Macon, Linda Lorimer was elected trustee of Yale University. It was during this time that she became an outspoken advocate for Yale to improve its relationship with New Haven.
When Rick Levin invited me back to be secretary of the university in 1993, my first goal was to help forge with him a new sort of partnership between Yale University and the city of New Haven.
So she spearheaded efforts to get to know every neighborhood group, every association of clergymen, every alder person, all the folks in City Hall. It was a massive mobilization of outreach effort.
Lorimer's hard work paid off with greatly improved relations between Yale and the New Haven community.
I've relied on Linda to lead most of the major initiatives I've undertaken in the last 20 years. She spearheaded our international efforts, extending Yale's reach around the globe, extending the reach in terms of attracting students, in terms of having outposts in various parts of the world. She's a fantastic initiator of the projects.
I've had the chance to help Yale deans and faculties inaugurate programs on every continent except Antarctica. Whether it's opening research labs in Shanghai, new exchange programs in Beijing, visiting women's colleges in the Middle East, it's been enormously satisfying to help Yale faculty see how the university's impact can be much greater around the world.
Her portfolio of assignments at the university is incredibly broad, and yet she manages to be on top of them all, running the Alumni Association, for many years working with the Yale Corporation, leading communications, and more recently sustainability. All of this in one person who's totally indefatigable, who's got energy all day long. She's quite remarkable.
Ms. Lorimer has also been instrumental in defining what it means for Yale to be a leader in the global digital world, and has recently been named Vice President for Global and Strategic Initiatives by Yale's new president, Peter Salovey.
There's a faculty team staffed by Linda, and she has in essence led the development of that team to look to see how Yale not only looks back over 300 years, but looks forward for 100 years. And that's exactly her genius.
Linda Lorimer has served on the boards of numerous educational organizations, chairing both the Association of American Colleges and Universities and the Women's College Coalition. She has also served as vice chair of the World Economic Forum's Global Agenda Council. In addition to serving on many local boards, she was the first lead director of the board of the McGraw-Hill Companies. Ms. Lorimer is currently on the board of Save the Children and Pearson, the world's largest education company. Linda Lorimer has been awarded 4 honorary degrees for her efforts to advance women and has received many accolades, including the Sandra Day O'Connor Award from the American Bar Association and the Yale Medal, the university's highest award for service.
Her legacy is profound. She's a visionary, and she knows how to execute, and that combination is powerful whenever one is attempting to move an institution forward. Linda Lorimer is without doubt one of the great administrators of any great institution of higher education that I have ever met.